Hello. Happy Monday. Hopefully you're having an excellent day so far and are enjoying yourself wherever you are here on lovely planet Earth, doing whatever you do on Mondays. Here at the Tricky Gym, we're going to play some Pokemon cards. That's usually what we do, and it is what we are going to do on this Monday as well. Thank you so much to everybody subbing to the channel, getting the stream kicked off. We have got Ketonomics with a sub in the 2 months, saying that they just ordered their first GLC deck and they feel like they have stumbled down a rabbit hole. Let's go. Welcome to the club, and hopefully you're having a good, fun time building those GLC decks. Thank you, CMT and Brandon, for those subs as well. CMT with the 6 months. Brandon with the 47 months and the tier 3 sub. Thank you. And, of course, Trey with the 55 months. Thank you all so much. And I really appreciate the support. Makes a huge difference with the success and continuation of the channel. So thank you. Oh, man. Where'd my screen go? Not that. That one. There we go. Absol EX. This card is cute. Thank you, Jav, for the Prime sub and the 24 months. That's a cute card. It's not particularly good, unless I guess you're playing a control deck, maybe, but Absol EX got 210 HP, basic Pokemon. Kind of a cute little artwork. I mean, as far as Absols go, I feel like this is a really kind of cute and unique Absol, right? You talk about Absols. I feel like that's a very kind of... We don't have any cute Absols, right? I mean, none of these really qualify as cute. Maybe dark and mysterious, but this one is actively cute. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's like... I feel like this one is very Rower XD, kind of, you know? See, Kyle, I know, we're on the same... I said it before your chat showed up, but me and Kyle are on the same wave. This one's very rawr. Yeah. It's got rawr vibes. It does. I don't know what rawr vibes are or how something gets rawr vibes, but yes, this has got rawr XD vibes. For sure. But it's cute. I feel like we should bring XD back. I was a very frequent user of the XD. Okay, I was big into the XD smiley face. Yes. I don't know what came along and made XD cringe. We should bring it back. But yes, this Absol is very cute. Most Absol, dark, mysterious, frowny face. See, frowny face. Not happy. Dark, mysterious, angry eyes. I'm big into text emoticons. Yes, I think text emoticons are... They're better than emojis. Yeah, before this current Absol, the cutest Absol card was probably like this one. Maybe this one? But this one, I mean, this one is very cute. It's got 2 attacks. Future Sight and Cursed Slug. I doubt it's going to keep that name. Future Sight, look at the top 3 cards of either player's deck and put them back in any order. You could use that with control. Yo, we love you, Pig Chef. What's up? And then you put them back in any order. So in a control deck, you know, you could use this to reorder your opponent's cards, but it seems like a liability. Unless you've got a perfect lockup, you don't want to have a 2-prize Pokemon in the active spot doing that. You really, you know, that is kind of a recipe for disaster. But if you've got a perfect lock, then it doesn't really matter. And then Cursed Slug does 100 damage, and if your opponent has 3 or fewer cards in hand, it does 120 more damage. So, you know, this card kind of coincides with removing your opponent's hand, removing their options. You know, if you decrease your opponent's hand size, you do more damage. But it costs 3 energy to use. So, not like the most competitive card, but it is fun. And it's a very cute artwork. I like this Absol a lot. I feel like it brings a lot to... the Absol cards that exist, right? I feel like most of the Absol artworks up until this point haven't been, like, incredible, really. There's some nice ones. I actually really like this artwork for Absol. I feel like that one's, like, really nice. And then this one's pretty cool. This one's kind of cute. Like, there's some cool Absols, don't get me wrong. But I feel like this Absol really brings a new angle to Absol, which was very, very much needed. Thank you, Brett, for the Prime sub in the 18 months. I think Absol Prime was probably my favorite Absol. What was yours? Which Absol is y'all's favorite? I feel like Absol Prime is just so sick. It's like is every Prime just like a fisheye shot of like a Pokemon's nose? Is that like every single Prime Pokemon? I do like this artwork though. I feel like the lost stuff in the background is really cool looking. You know, the lost swirlies, the lost zone swirlies. You know what card they need to bring back? Lost Remover. Print this card again. You should be able to play 4 of this card in a deck. And while you're at it, reprint Enhanced Hammer too. Let's look at all the primes. I was testing for the World Championships last night, playing on the Pokemon Trading Card Game Live. Boy, what a... I really am not having a good time with that. Yep. Fisheye, close up. They're all like very close. Yeah. Absol is the closest. Absol and Umbreon. Okay, this is very close as well. Very close, very close, very close. Here we go. The Houndoom, very close. Espeon, very close. Steelix, very close. Yep. Yeah, okay. Pretty much every single Prime Pokemon is just like a fisheye shot of a Pokemon's nose. Yep. They're all just like, what if we just put... Yes, I'm going to Worlds, yes. What if we just put a Pokemon really... Dang, there is a fly in my studio. Do you all see that? This thing... No way. This is going to be war. That fly just landed on my hand. Absolutely not. I'm going to have to... It's on... Okay, guys, it's on the camera. Hang tight. It's on my camera. On the DSLR. Right. It's like right on you. I'm going to hit you, chat. But it's not personal. missed it. I think he flew away. I don't know if I'm going to be able to make it. Thank you, YRG, for the Prime sub in the 6 months. I don't know if I'm going to make it. Hopefully that fly does not show its ugly face again. Or else there's going to be issues. Anyway, primes are nice. I remember when I was first starting to collect cards, like, again, I want to say, like, when I was first starting, because I collected cards as a kid. I collected cards all through college. But when I was first starting to get into building my own decks again, right? Because I had like an unlimited lightning deck that I used to play with like some of my buddies back when I was in high school. So like I had that built. But like I didn't play anything. I didn't know anything about meta. I didn't know anything about anything. I barely knew the rules of the game, but I had an unlimited lightning deck that I would play. Thank you, Swizzerton, for that sub in the 22 months. But as I was starting to like actually read articles about like meta Pokemon and things like that, this was my favorite card. And I bought like 2 of these because me and my girlfriend at the time, we had the Heart Gold Soul Silver theme decks that we had bought from Walmart. So she had an Espeon Prime deck, or she had an Espeon deck. It wasn't Espeon Prime, but she had like the Espeon deck. And I had the Umbreon deck. The primes were not in the deck. But yes, she had the Espeon. I had the Umbreon. And then, yeah, the Undaunted theme decks. Yes. And then she kept beating me with the Espeon deck because the Espeon deck was better. So then I looked online and started reading about Pokemon cards, and I decided that I needed Tyranitar Prime to put into my Umbreon deck to make it better. And that if I put Tyranitar Prime in my Umbreon deck, that I would, you know, start winning. So I bought myself a couple Tyranitar Primes, and at this time I was so broke. I was so broke. I remember looking at Tyranitar Prime's like price tag and being like, $15? Ah! I was... Yeah. And being like, is okay. I got it. $15. Fine. I'll get 2. And, well, now look at it. Now it's $50. But yeah, I bought a couple of Tyranitar Primes. And then my girlfriend started updating her deck, and then back and forth, and then the rest is history. Started reading about actual competitive Pokemon TCG decks, started, you know, building our own decks, going to tournaments and things like that, and then it was all game over from there. But yes, very fond memories of Tyranitar Prime, very fond memories of Electrode Prime as well, as it was that was also one of my first competitive decks. Cool. Absol. Rar. And as far as the Pokemon news goes, that's about it. Not too much else going on there. We've got Ruler of the Black Flame, and we've got Obsidian Flames coming out like right around the same time. I have ordered 3 booster boxes of Ruler of the Black Flame, but I'm not sure that they'll even come in before I leave for Japan. I'm hoping that they do so that I can create some Charizard EX content before I leave for the World Championships. That's the hope. But there's no guarantees on that. Also, pre-releases happen the same weekend that Ruler of the Black Flame releases in Japan. So, yes, Pig Chef, I want you to edit the Charizard video. Yes, yes, yes. I know. And I'll have that work for... That's going to be kind of a Pig Chef while you're here to put that on your calendar, right? Let's see. Yeah. So what? We're July 10th right now. Ruler of the Black Flame releases in Japan, I think, like this weekend here. And that our first pre-releases that we're allowed to do for Ruler of the Black Flame or for Obsidian Flames are right here. So I'm going to be getting the cards through like pre-release, some through my booster boxes, hopefully that come from Japan. Maybe the Pokemon Company International will send me a couple English booster boxes. Maybe they won't. I have no idea. But if they do, then that would also be a big help. All I need are a couple Charizard EX, and I can make this work. Thank you, Styx, for the Prime sub in the 6 months. So I'm hoping to maybe do some filming on that Tuesday or Wednesday for Obsidian Flames, like Charizard EX stuff. And then I would need that video to be edited and complete by Saturday because I'm leaving for Japan on this Sunday. So I'm trying to get the Ruler of the Black Flame content out this week so that ideally I could get 2 videos out. That'd be insane. So that I can release 2 videos. As long as it's a 2-0 victory, you could do that. Yeah. But 1 video would be fine. So that's what we're trying to do. Ideally, I can film on that Tuesday, and that would give us 4 days to produce. So that's gonna be a big week for sure, Pig Chef. Just so you kind of have that on your have that on your mind. I don't know how I'm getting the cards yet, and I refuse to proxy. I will not do that because proxying kind of cheapens the production, if you ask me. Like, why am I going to spend all this time and all this effort putting together a nicely edited video if I just have printer paper proxies? Like, absolutely not. That's not how we're doing it. I refuse. So, need to get my hands on, I don't care if they're English or Japanese, but I need to get my hands on a couple Charizard EX so that I can build. Your college starts August 14th, Pig Chef? All right, so I'll keep that in mind. That's going to be while I'm in Japan. So that makes sense. So like our kind of, your college will start there. You'll have a lot of stuff going on, I'm also, if you're interested, Pig Chef, I'm interested in having you continue to work for me while you're in college. I know you won't be able to do as much, but even if you could still, if you find time for 1 or 2 videos a month, that would still be very nice. Even if it's just one or 2 videos a month. But we'll talk about that as we get closer. I think that it could be a good way for you to make some cash while you're in college. But we'll talk about that. And if you don't think that you can, if you don't think that you're going to be able to balance that, then that's okay. Or if you need a couple of months to kind of get acclimated to college life, and then maybe you want to come back and do some video editing, that's also something that we can work out. I know. Stick says, this is the weirdest Zoom meeting. I know. Well, listen, all right? Me and Pig Chef are on opposite sides of the world, okay? We're on opposite sides of the world. You know how difficult it is? Most of the time I get to talk to, yeah, Pig Chef is 12 hour. Pig Chef getting ready to go to bed. Pig Chef gonna be nighty-night by the time I'm done streaming here. So it's like I kind of have to get that in while I can. Yeah, it's 10:19 a.m. here. It is 10 p.m. over there. So. But yeah, we'll talk about all that, Big Chef. We'll talk about all that. Very excited about the tabletop video you just edited. I'm going to be hopefully kind of putting the final touches on that today, and then releasing it today. That's the hope. All right. So I think Jesse said he wants to play some. Is all the math and the damage attack animations correct? I'm gonna check all of that right now, like after the stream, Pig Chef, as I'm editing it. I didn't get to audit it at home yet. But hopefully, hopefully all the math is correct. I'm sure it is, but I'll double check you. Listen, I haven't been in the office. I haven't been in the office. All right. So. I know. Natalie and I played some Gym Leader Challenge over the weekend. I'm working on some new decks. And one of the decks that I'm most excited about is this grass deck right here. JD, I'm glad that you found that was funny. Thank you. The OK Boomer. Whatever you say, Boomer. Natalie and I played some Gym Leader Challenge over the weekend, and I've been working on some new types. Some new decks, right? I kind of have my traditional grass list with Torterra and Venusaur and Rillaboom and Shining Genesect, all that. I have that deck built, and that's been a very popular way to play grass over the course of the last couple of years. But now I'm working on a Meganium version of grass. And Meganium is a really cool card that is just so fun to play with and very neat in Gym Leader Challenge format, since it allows you to just skip right through the middle evolution and go straight to a stage 2 Pokemon. Even the same turn you put it into play. So Meganium's quick ripening herb ability allows you to take a basic Pokemon in play and put a stage 2 that evolves from it directly onto that Pokemon, even if that Pokemon came into play this turn. So what that means is that if you put Bulbasaur into play, you can use quick ripening herb to evolve that Bulbasaur into Venusaur the same turn, right? It allows you to basically just kind of like turbo evolve a Pokemon, which is really, really cool in grass, since grass is such a grass is a deck that can search out the Pokemon that you need when you need them, especially with cards like Rottle and Roserade. So it's like Forest of Giant Plants and a rare candy. Yes. So the idea of this particular Meganium grass deck is to chain Torterra, because Torterra is one of the best attackers that grass has access to, right? 190 hit points, the low maintenance Evo Press attack, which does 50 damage for each of your evolution Pokemon in play. Do I have the suboptimal Turtwig? I do. Oops. whatever. I need to get another one, okay? This is my secondary grass deck, all right? So yes, Torterra has the Evo Press attack and is, just a huge threat in Gym Leader Challenge format. Being able to do up to 300 damage with Evo Press for just 2 energy. And then when you have Venusaur in play, Torterra can use Evo Press for just 1 energy. And that is the kind of, that's kind of the concept of the deck, is that you're attacking with Torterra for huge damage using just 1 energy, thanks to Venusaur, since Venusaur's Jungle Totem ability makes all your grass energy in play count as 2 grass energy. So once you get up and swinging with Torterra, then you can heal it and keep swinging, which is very annoying for the opponent to deal with. And we've got a bunch of different ways to heal your Torterra in this deck. I saw somebody in the chat say, wouldn't it be good to play Acerola or AZ? My original list had AZ. However, I've got cards that I think are better than AZ in this deck. And AZ may be a card that I add back into the list, but as it is right now, you've still got a bunch of different ways to heal your Torterra. First of all, there is Scoop Up Net, right? You can use Scoop Up Net to pick up your Torterra after it takes damage, and then you can use Meganium's Quick Ripening Herb to put the Torterra right back down into play, which is really cool. You also have Arboliva, which you can use its Enriching Oil ability, which says when you evolve Arboliva, right, you can heal all damage from one of your Pokemon. So Arboliva allows you to completely heal Torterra, and you can evolve Arboliva into play very easily thanks to Meganium's Quick Ripening Herb ability. Another option that you have to heal your Torterra is Max Potion. Since Torterra's Evo Press only takes 1 grass energy with Venusaur's Jungle Totem ability online, you can just use Max Potion to heal Torterra, attach another grass energy from hand, and continue swinging. So, as it is right now, I've got Scoop Up Net, Max Potion, and Arboliva that can all heal Torterra, right? Which is pretty good. If you heal your Torterra 3 times, you are winning that game. Okay? Pretty much, yeah. Ain't no way you're losing. If a Torterra takes 3 attacks and you heal all of them, you are winning that game. So, I think 3 ways to heal is pretty good, but you could include more. Again, you could include AZ, which would allow you to pick up your Arboliva and use its Enriching Oil ability again. I think that AZ is the other card that I would consider running in this list. However, consistency is something that you have to really worry about as well. And there are options that I don't have represented in this list as well, which I see in chat and are all very good options. You could definitely play Pot Helmet in this deck. You could definitely play Cricketune in this deck as well. This deck does already have, 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 16, 17 Pokemon already. And in a format where Parallel City sees a lot of play, the problem with running cards like Cricketune is that I feel like that's just one of those cards that'll always just get removed with Parallel City. So it's kind of a meta decision to not include Cricketune, since you're going to be, anytime someone plays Parallel, you're going to discard it. So it's almost just a waste to even set it up in the first place. I feel like a better decision is to probably play a card like Pot Helmet. But then every single deck plays Field Blower, except for this list doesn't have Field Blower in it right now. Shh, don't tell anybody. But almost every deck plays Field Blower, so then I'm like, okay, well, so, right. And you could play Chaotic Swell, but there's only 60 spots in the list, right? So I'm still working on it, and I'm still tweaking the list. But the reality is that you have to build your Gym Leader Challenge decks if you're playing against, specific metagames. You have to build your Gym Leader Challenge deck to be able to deal with specific metagames. So I have cards like Enhanced Hammer and Silent Lab in here, which could go for other things. Like, these cards don't necessarily need to be in this deck, but they are very good against Psychic. And Psychic is one of the strongest and most popular decks in Gym Leader Challenge, and specifically in this local metagame here in Akron, Ohio, Psychic is everywhere. So Silent Lab is to turn off Wobbuffet, since Wobbuffet can kind of shut down your whole deal here. And Enhanced Hammer is to help slow Psychic down as well, since you can just bop one of their special energies and continue swinging. So these two cards are to help against Psychic. Enhanced Hammer also helps against Colorless, which is also a very popular deck. So those two cards are there for that reason. But if you're not worried about Parallel City, then yeah, Kricketune would be a great fit in this deck and would jive really well with the concept here, which is to, try and deny knockouts and tank and heal with Torterra. Now, I saw Jake say earlier there's only 2 attackers in this deck, and that's not true. There are 3. Let me show you the 3 attackers. First of all, we have got Zarude, and we've got Torterra, and there is Arboliva. Now, the idea of this deck is to primarily attack with Torterra, but Zarude and Arboliva are also very formidable attackers when you have Venusaur set up, since Venusaur's Jungle Totem ability doubles up your grass energy in play. With 2 grass energy attached to Zarude, Repeated Whip is doing 140 damage, which is really solid damage output for just 2 energy. Pack Call is also great for helping you to set up, allowing you to search your deck for a grass Pokemon and put it into your hands. Arboliva does 150 damage for just 2 grass energy while you have Venusaur in play. I thought about cards like Hyper Potion, but honestly, Scoop Up Net and Arboliva are just better than Hyper Potion. And Max Potion is better than Hyper Potion, right? So Max Potion is kind of like the... yes, and Bean in the chat. Yes, I've attacked with Roserade way more than I'd like to admit, for sure. I actually was even getting in there with Beautifly when playing this deck. Sometimes, 70. You just got to do 70 damage. So those are your 3 main attackers. Zarude, Arboliva, and Torterra. I think the deck could use maybe one more attacker, but there's not really any that I particularly like. The closest attacker to being able to make the cut is probably the Revenge Tropius. Revenge Tropius is okay. Genesect is okay. Shining Genesect is okay. Those would be the other 2 that I'm kind of considering in this deck. Yeah, late game Buzzwole maybe. The U-turn board, all right. This is how you know this is a Andrew Mahone deck list, is because I like U-turn board more than I like Floatstone. Okay, and the reason I like U-turn board more than I like Floatstone is because it gives you a free pivot the entire game, even if it gets Field Blower, right? So you can attach U-turn board to your Beautifly, you can attach it to your Roserade, and it gives you a free retreater, which is really good since, when Torterra gets knocked out, it goes to the discard pile. And then you can use a card like Revitalizer to put both Turtwig and Torterra right back into your hand. And then you can use Meganium's Quick Ripening Herb to evolve that right back. So then you just need to have a free retreater in play in order to get that Torterra back active again. And with U-turn board, you're pretty much guaranteed to have it so long as it doesn't get like lost vacuumed or, you know, Faba'd or something. You know, even if your opponent field blowers the U-turn board, it just comes back to your hand, you put it right back down and play. So I really like U-turn board since most Gym Leader Challenge decks run field blower, and Floatstone feels so good when you play it, but then inevitably your opponent, am I lying? What happens to Floatstone? Do Floatstones ever make it to the end of the game? Do they ever? People who play Gym Leader Challenge, do Floatstones ever make it to the end of the game? No, they never do. Absolutely not. They never make it. Field blower Marnie, I mean, that's fine though, because the U-turn board is still in the deck. So in my mind, U-turn board is such a valuable card in Gym Leader Challenge because it has like a consistent use throughout the game, right? And doesn't just get permanently removed from play. It's a card that just, it recurs. It's cards like this that come back in a singleton format are so good, right? They're so good because they give you so much value for one space, right? One deck slot, you're getting maximum value out of a card like this. So I do like that. From a deck building perspective in Gym Leader Challenge format, I really, really like U-turn board. I think U-turn board is great. And I think it can work here because we've got other switching cards. You've got Scoop Up Net, you've got Escape Rope, you know, and you got Guzman, and you got U-turn board, right? So you have other switching options. Now, I'm still working on kind of figuring out the final list for this deck. I felt like I needed a little bit more oomph in the draw and search power. So my original list didn't have Trainer's Mail and Pokegear in it, but as I was playing more and more against Psychic and trying to figure out how to beat Wobbuffet, you need to be able to like find your Silent Lab or your Escape Rope. Trainer's Mail and Pokegear help you to find cards like Peony. Peony can get you around Wobbuffet. I really like that. Peony also can just get you like Rare Candy, Beautifly, and stuff like that. And then you can just like fill your hand with Beautifly, which is a lot of fun. So Peony's kind of cool because when you combo Peony with a card like Beautifly, which fills your hand, you can you could just dump a dead hand and then just go get some cool cards with Peony. So I do like that card a lot. It helps you to find the Silent Lab you need to get around Wobbuffet as well, which is also pretty good. How do I decide between N and Iono? I don't have any other. I ran out of Ionos, all right? But I also think it's fine. This list probably only needs one. You've got N, and I would probably pick N and Iono. I might cut Marnie for Iono. That's kind of like where that spot is. So I don't know that I would choose between N and Iono. Maybe it's between Marnie and Iono. So that's kind of this is, like I said, this is a draft list that I'm working on. Why Enhanced Hammer? Because Enhanced Hammer's broken, and I'm starting to play Enhanced Hammer in all my decks. No town map. You got Peonia. It's fine, right? Yeah, I'm starting to play Enhanced Hammer in like every single Gym Leader Challenge deck. It's so good. But Beautifly is really cool too. So Beautifly is like one of my favorite grass cards right now. First of all, its ability name is awesome. Stoked Draw. That's so cool, right? I mean, I love that. And this card is just beautiful. Its ability is great. Beautifly is like one of my favorite grass type Pokemon cards. So I'm super into this. And I think the Beautifly works perfectly in this particular deck. You can, spring it up into play very easily, and then it helps you to find the cards you need in order to bring back Torterra, reset Arboliva. It basically gives you like the draw power that you need in order to do like the tank and heal and recur your Pokemon strategy over and over again. Obviously, Turf Field is very good in this kind of deck, being able to search out your evolution Pokemon. Clara is really good in this deck, since when you have Meganium set up, Clara is just like an instant Torterra, right? I mean, just like the same, it's like playing another Revitalizer, except it gets you the grass energy back as well. You can just go like, oh, Torterra got knocked out, we're going to Clara, bring back the Torterra, and swing again. So something that you'll notice about this particular list is that I focused slightly less on healing and more on like being able to just like, if first of all, you got a couple of ways to heal your Torterra, but assuming it gets knocked out like consistently, you've got a lot of ways to quickly bring that Torterra back, and eventually your opponent will miss a knockout on Torterra. It's got 190 hit points, right? Like, eventually they're not going to be able to hit the knockout on it, because you bringing back and reusing Torterra over and over again is just such a power play. It's huge. Time to play Lost City. Well, right. I mean, sure. Acerola. I feel like Scoop Up Net's better than Acerola. Is it not? I was thinking about playing, and so is Max Potion. I was thinking about playing, because these are non, why can't you play both? Well, that's the thing, is like, how many times is your Torterra going to get hit and not knocked out in a game? Right? How many times? Realistically. 3? A few? All right. You've got one heal card here. You've got another heal card here. And you've got another heal card here. You've got 3. You've got 3 right here. Right? You've got 3 ways to heal. And so like, if we're talking about what are the 3 best ways to heal Torterra? Scoop Up Net, Max Potion, Arboliva. Those are, in my opinion, those are the 3 best ways. Now, if you wanted to add a 4th way, you could go like AZ. I feel like AZ is probably fine. But, you're looking at like, okay, what are the most optimal cards to play? Right, Scoop Up Net has other functions, which is why it's the best one, right? This is by far the best card in this deck, because you can use it for a whole bunch of things. Max Potion is so good because you can use it even if you have your ability locked. Even if like you're under Hex Maniac or something, you can Max Potion. And then Arboliva's insane. You could play Cheryl, but that's the thing, is Max Potion's just better than Cheryl, right? So, we're really, getting to what's optimal. What are the optimal 60 cards to play in a deck like this? I believe that Scoop Up Net and Max Potion are better than the other supporter-based options, and so is Arboliva, since you can just set it up on the fly, and then Arboliva is also a backup attacker. So maybe AZ ends up making its way back into this list. AZ is interesting since it allows you to pick up and reuse Arboliva, but I'm happy with these options for healing right now. And again, all it really takes, if you heal a Torterra and like keep swinging with it once or twice, it's probably lights out, right? All it takes is once or twice. And then you can even afford to let it get knocked out and then, just recur it and do it again. And then you got to figure this. So this is like another kind of pitfall that people fall into with like tank and heal decks like this, is that, all right, if Torterra is one-hit KOing everything, right? But Pokemon are two-hit KOing Torterra, are you not already winning that game, right? You're winning that game, right? Because your opponent, it doesn't matter. You don't have to heal because Torterra one-hit KOs everything, and Pokemon, you're telling me Pokemon are two-hit KOing Torterra. So healing, in some ways, is a win more strategy in this deck. You don't actually, you know, even if you just Arboliva the Torterra once, you're probably already just destroying them. As long as you have a backup attacker. Well, that's exactly it. So, like, we have a couple ways to heal the Torterra, and by far the best way to heal Torterra is to use Arboliva, since you don't need to reattach an energy. So you can commit those energy anywhere else, to Zarude or whatever, right? And then you've also got Scoop Up Net allowing you to reuse Arboliva, and then you can continue attaching energy to somebody else. And then, if Torterra does get knocked out, you can bring it back into play instantly the same turn, thanks to Meganium's Quick Ripening Herb, attach another energy to it, and then continue swinging. Originally, I was playing Executor with the block attack in here, just as something to do while I set up, since the deck does admittedly play 4 Stage 2 Pokemon. But it's fine. It's fine. You've got Grotle, you've got Roserade, you're chilling. But I was originally playing the Blockade Executor because just being able to use an attack that makes it so that your opponent can't play a supporter card is pretty disruptive and can give you enough time to kind of like build everything up. But as I was kind of playing with that more and more, I realized it was kind of just wasting time. I needed to play more cards like Trainer's Mail and Pokegear that actually allowed me to set up Torterra faster. So that's kind of where I ended up landing. I would still maybe be interested in one more attacker. Parallel's fine. I mean, you're fine. You got 2 Stadium. You're chilling. What? So, like, your ideal board state, you got, like, Torterra, you've got, you know, like, Beautifly, Meganium, Venusaur. That's fine. And then you can counter the Stadium and then just pop Arboliva into play instantly. I don't know. Like, you could play a Field Blower, for sure. But it's hard to find room. It's really hard to find room. Well, that's why you can use U-turn board to pivot back. You know, what are you realistically cutting? Like, what are the flex spots in this list? So say, you know, what are the flexible cards that can get cut? We're already as low on grass energy as we can pretty much possibly go. Enhanced Hammer, right, but that card is so good. This card's broken. Yes, Hammer's a flex spot. It is. And Silent Lab's a flex spot. Hammer's good, though. So Hammer could go for anything. But I'm big Hammer pilled lately. I am. Hammer wins games. Okay? Silent Lab is for turning off Wobbuffet. Wobbuffet. This is literally just for Wobbuffet. Yep. Which shuts your whole deck down. So, like, the whole deck shuts down with a Wobbuffet. So, like, having 2 cards that can get, well, 4, because you got Guzma, Boss, Escape Rope, Silent Lab. That's 4 cards that are able to deal with Wobbuffet. So yeah, Hammer. You could cut Hammer for Field Blower. I mean, that's fine, right? I mean, but really, we're just, you know, at that point, we're kind of nitpicking, getting into the real nitty gritty. Like, what's the 60th card? Right here, we're kind of just showing off a concept. I can search for the lab. Thank you. Thank you. I've got cards to help me find it. I know. In my mind, I think Wobbuffet. I think Wobbuffet is a card that's probably... that's a card that's on the ban watch list for sure. I think Wobbuffet, in a lot of ways, gives Psychic just kind of like an unfair advantage. Yeah. Wobbuffet, in my mind, Wobbuffet's one of the most broken cards in the format. Yes. For sure. It's so broken. No, Weezing's different. And it's also just in a, you know, it's also just in a different card pool, so. But in Psychic's got so many advantages already. And Wobbuffet just makes it kind of like insane, really. Arceus, yeah, people be hating on Arceus. Do I just ban cards? I said it's on a watch list, okay? Watch lists. No, I don't ban cards that are just strong. But cards that like unnecessarily inhibit the format, you know, stifle other decks from being able to see, you know, play and oh yeah, Wob definitely on the watch list for sure. It's broken. It was a broken card. I think Wobbuffet's like probably one of the most stifling cards in the formats. What else on the watch list? Arceus, probably. It's like cards on the watch list right now be like Wobbuffet, Arceus, Amazing Raikou, kind of always on the watch list. You know, they're just cards you're looking at critically, right? No, not Lost City. Lost City's a double-edged sword because you can build your deck to just be more resilient to Lost City, but people just choose not to. That's like a personal problem, you know? You can build your deck to be resilient to Lost City. Most people just don't. And then also, when you put Lost City into play and take a knockout, then your opponent can Lost Zone your guy too. Right? So then it's a double-edged sword. No, there haven't been any cards that have just been banned because it's like, oh, that's way too strong. No. Every card that's been banned so far is like, it inhibits people's ability to play. That's where the line is drawn, right? As it is right now. It's not like, oh, well, that attacker is really strong. If we ban strong attackers, then like colorless Snorlax would be banned. Yes, Kyogre inhibited people's ability to play. You couldn't actually play because it was turn 2 board wipe. You know what I'm saying? Whereas like colorless Snorlax, probably one of the best basic attackers in the game right now. But yeah. And as it is, like, Wobbuffet is just a card. It's like, it requires so little and shuts down entire decks. And in a lot of ways gives Psychic just like a very unfair advantage. But so it's on the watch list too. I feel like in my mind, I'm not gonna get into it, but I know there's a lot of people who think that Wobbuffet is more of a problem card than Arceus. And there's a lot of people who think Arceus is the biggest problem card in the format right now. I think that healthy discussion is always good and welcome on those kinds of things. Brandon hates them both equally. We'll do a poll. We got 300 people. I'll do a poll. How do I spell Wobbuffet? 2 F's, 2 B's, 1 T. I know. Will loves a healthy, balanced discussion on Gym Leader Challenge, doesn't he? All right, so we have our poll. Which card do you think is more toxic in Gym Leader Challenge? Is it Wobbuffet or is it Arceus? Chat votes. Well, if you think neither, then it's colorless Arceus. Hate Let Loose Marshadow more than Wobbuffet's? It's, well, it's like not very easy to play around Wobbuffet. All of my decks that I play have Wobbuffet counters in them. All of them. And it's not the... It's not the easiest. You know, thank you, Leo Rick, for the 100 bits. Shoepan says, simply do not play Pokemon with abilities. Well, there's some decks that don't care about Wobbuffet at all. Fighting doesn't really care. Darkness doesn't really care. Metal doesn't really care. There's a certain crop of decks that just don't care, right? Dragon definitely doesn't care. Worm cares. Over here at Team Water headquarters, we super care. Yeah, water really cares. Grass really cares. Lightning really cares. Yeah, those 3 decks, they care. Fire cares. Oh, yeah, they care a lot, actually. We got 2 chat window. Oh, for double the discussion. You do have 2 chat for double the discussion. So true. Yes, we do. It's just so you guys can see the poll, okay? It's for the VOD. For the VOD people. I feel like Arceus like feels bad when you just kind of pop off and get the combo. turn one, but that doesn't, like, it doesn't happen every game. But that it is, yeah, it's a very powerful card. But that's the thing is, like, up until this point, there haven't been... Well, I agree with that, Ben. Yes. Yeah, Archeops is stage 2. It should be strong. Right. I agree. Turn 1 Wob is extremely easy. It's not turn 1 every game, but it is very easy to do. You even have Hisuian Heavy Ball. You can just, even if you prize it, you just go get it instantly. It's a very easy thing to... And that's the thing is, like, even if you're... Like, I feel like Wobbuffet just allows Psychic to pretty much dictate the pace of play. All right. From our nearly 80 voters, we had 81% say that Wobbuffet is more toxic than Archeops. Only 19% saying that Archeops is more toxic than Wobbuffet. That's good. Wob versus Marshadow. Well, that is a genuine fear if you think that colorless is too, like, without, like, psychic in a lot of ways helps keep colorless in check, right? Would you rather be wobbed or let loose? Let loose any day. Your deck should be consistent enough that you draw out of let loose. That's fine. You get 5 cards after the top deck. You're chilling. Wobbuffet is so toxic. Doesn't matter how big your hand is, you're doing nothing. Turn 1 let loose is toxic. Listen, people who turn 1 let loose are just as likely to dead draw as their opponents. You know, I'm not a big let loose hater. I mean, as many times as I've seen someone turn 1 let loose, I've drawn better than my opponent did off of it. Yeah, the let loose player does get to see more cards. It's true. Well, I'm not asking. I'm asking which card is more toxic. The Lost Zone Psychic deck? I'm going to go ahead and say something that I know people are going to disagree with. I don't think the Lost Zone Psychic deck is very good. I said it. I don't think it's very good. Yeah. I've played against it. It's not very good. All you have to do is literally attack. Yeah, that deck is cheese. Yup. 12 damage counters is like a lot if you have all small Pokemon, but if you have one attacker with 130 hit points just attacking over and over again, that deck stinks. Turn 8 Sableye is so sick, Edge, but that's what. No. What I'm saying, I know Chimecho. I've played against the deck, all right? Many times. I'm aware. I've played it. It's just like, you know, it's just not, it's not a top 3 deck in the format by far. No shot. Yeah, not even close. Yup. Yeah, not top 3 for sure. Yes, and if you lost on Sableye, right. I know there's ways to counter it for sure. I'm not a top 3 deck in the format. Oh, okay. I think the Lost Zone Psychic deck is cute. I think it's a cute deck. I'm glad it exists. I think it's cute. I think just Psychic Gallade is better than Psychic Spread. Now that's toxic. That would be sick, Wheat. I'm at Full Grip Games in Akron, Ohio. But yeah, the times that I've played against Lost Zone Psychic, I have not been impressed by it. So that's just like my opinion, man. Webcam. I'm not going to set up a webcam game with someone I don't know, you know? And it's bad content. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, if we're going to do it, we got to do it right. You know, also, like, as a content creator, setting up webcam match with someone who's got a point to prove to you, you know, people you don't know, it's like, okay, well, how do I know that, you know, if we're going to do a match with stakes, it's got to be IRL. Yeah, webcam though. Okay, but what if I got somebody to actually like feature in the studio on tabletop playing across the table? Isn't that just way more epic? No. Yeah, way better to have someone like in the studio. It's like I'm not going to waste my time and energy on a, you know, on a webcam battle royale. We could just do showdowns in paper. In real life. Yo, JD. All right. That'd be fun. I'd love to have you on, JD. That'd be fun. I'm going to have to... Thank you, Devo, for the Prime sub in the 18 months. Yeah, JD says he could work something out next week. Okay. Let's go. Yeah, maybe soon we could do it through Twin Leaf. True. Maybe. Maybe so. Cool. All right. JD, let me know if you're available a day next week. That'd be fun. Yeah, next week. Cool. Just let me know the day, and you're on. How's the Twin Leaf thing going to happen without getting sued? Well... Mucho Birdies, TPCI has never talked to me about Gym Leader Challenge. In any capacity. None. Which, bewilders me. I wish they would. What deck we gonna play? I guess one of the things that made me so disrespectful of the psychic, of the Lost Zone psychic deck is that I was beating it consistently with lightning. That seems crazy to me, because like lightning should be the deck that's the easiest to beat with the Lost Zone deck. And I was stomping it. I was like, dang, that's crazy, bro. This should be like a free matchup. They got bench barrier. All my guys have almost no hit points. They're squishy. All I had to do was like get an attacker going, and You know, they just start attacking like turn 2, and then... That's true. And that is something, you go turn 1 Zapdos to knock out the Comfey, and then you can Dynamotor and then just start attacking with somebody else turn 2. And then you've got Silent Lab and Amazing Raikou, like, they end up having a bad time. It's like you're so aggressive that they just end up having a bad time. Now, if you've got a deck that doesn't set up for 3 or 4 turns, then yeah, you're going to get destroyed by the Lost Zone Psychic deck. But even imagine Lost Zone Psychic trying to take down like a Torterra. I don't know. I don't think the deck could take out a Torterra. I'm sure the Lost Zone Psychic deck is quite good against most setup decks, but that's like kind of the point, right? It's not going to be good against... I mean, but that's just like matchup. That's just matchups, right? Lightning and Colorless are Lost Zone. Well, okay, so maybe I'm biased because I was playing Lightning and I was like, dang, this deck stinks. I was like, my Lightning deck is stomping this Psychic deck. Because usually my Lightning deck has kind of a tough time against Gallade builds of Psychic, but it was stomping the Lost Zone build. So I was like, well, you know, it just seems worse. You know, I'm sure Lost Zone Psychic has some very specific strong matchups, but like, I don't think it's like ubiquitously broken. I think it's just strong. Like I said, it's a cute deck. It's cute. Oh, I got Wailord lists. What, for Standard or Gym Leader Challenge? Do I think in a world where they get PTCGL to function normally that they'll infect it with game monetization? Jeffrey, I hope that they do. I hope they monetize this thing. In fact, I don't see it becoming functional until they do. Because what you're looking at right now is a free-to-play game. And right now, this free-to-play game is a mess. So I'm hoping that maybe they find some way to turn the money faucet on. Because this free-to-play game is miserable. Yup. You ever heard you get what you pay for? Ain't that the truth? Right, Jeffrey? I mean, because that's the thing is we're seeing right now, you're seeing firsthand, like, when you've got a client like this that's got absolutely no motivation to, like, there's no paying customers. They don't care. This is why the bugs don't bother you, because you prefer it to be free. I mean, that's fine, and some people are going to feel that way, but as someone who takes a lot of pride in the appearance of their content, it bothers me to no end. Here we go. Okay. But I deeply suspect that it is not the Pokemon Company International's decision to not monetize this game, and that is a roadblock from the Pokemon Company Japan. I suspect that the only way that's just the only way that they got the green light to create something is if they create it as a learn to play simulator, right? Like Pokemon Japan has no digital client. And I suspect that the only way that TPCI got the green light to create it was that if it was a non-monetized learn-to-play simulator, right? Because Pokemon Company Japan has no interest in an online client at all. They don't want that for their game. So that seems like that's what the issue is, right? Is that TPCI is being tasked with creating something that has to be free and therefore is going to suffer. But why? Because Pokemon Japan has no interest in creating a digital client for their game. And part of me agrees with that logic. You know, the Pokemon Company Japan wants to encourage in-person play. So part of me, like, I get it. I see it. I agree with it. You know, I think in-person play is really important. So, like, I get that. But also, I think that, like, if you're going to do something, you should do it right. And that's part of my big beef with TCG Live. It's like, I feel like it's not done right. Tell you what, Arceus decks. Nah, your animations, Pig Chef, look better than live. 100%. Well, there are some things that just don't translate well. Like, you know, Japan's a much smaller country than the United States. So, like, the idea of, like, oh, well, everybody should just play tabletop, like, you know, is a more realistic expectation in Japan than it is in the United States. And a lot of people live in rural areas where there's not, you know, like, there's not as a robust in-person gaming scene. Now, some of that won't happen unless people make the effort, right? You make the effort to change, or you move to a city where, you know, like it. To be blunt and to be honest, like if you want to do things with other people, then you may need to move to a more populated area where you can do those kinds of things. I literally moved to Akron, Ohio because it had a good Pokemon scene. That's one of the reasons I moved here, right? And it's like literally I chose that life trajectory because there was a good population of people to play with. And this is one of my favorite things to do in life. If you really like playing baseball, you're not going to choose to live somewhere where you can't play baseball, right? If you really like playing pickleball, then you probably want to live somewhere where there's a happening pickleball scene, right? I mean, so like in that kind of way, like, now I understand that's not going to make a lot of people happy, but it just is what it is. You know, if you want to play pickleball, live somewhere where there's a good pickleball scene. You know, or you could sit there with your arms crossed being like, there's no pickleball here, right? Okay. So what are you doing about it? You know, so I get that. I do get that. But you want to play pickleball and Pokemon. Well, then you have to do your own research and figure out what places are good for both of those things. You know, America is a big old place. And each state, each city has its own things going on. You know, things that it's better for and things that they're worse for. But whatever the situation, they just collapse their Gardevoir. Yeah, I mean, okay. My judge is down. Oh, I don't know. That's fine. Really just one Iono. That's fine. I'll make this guy big. Cool. That's a good hand. I shouldn't have... Yeah, I should not have put that double turbo there on that. But that's fine. Yeah, that was actually a huge mistake. Yeah, I should not have put that double turbo there. Because now I'm not knocking out Gardevoir EX, but it's fine. I mean, this reversal energy is not working now either. I'm lost zoning their guys. Like, I don't really know what they thought they were going to do off. I don't know what they were thinking by collapsing their Gardevoir. That was just pretty much a terrible decision. That just was not a good. That was not a good call. Yeah. And you know, I'm like, I think there should be a client that exists to help people learn how to play the Pokemon TCG. My hope is that whatever client does exist, you know, because I believe in accessibility, right? I think that the game should be a little bit more accessible. So I think there should be a client, officially supported client, to help people learn how to play the Pokemon TCG. However, not like this. I think that the client should accurately represent the Pokemon brand and the Pokemon fandom and the Pokemon community. And I feel like this client does none of those things. So to me, this client is a huge failure because it does not do the game justice or the community justice. And I believe actually is a damaging product for the Pokemon franchise, a brand damaging product. It cheapens the Pokemon name, which is something that I think is very sad and something that they shouldn't. They should try to avoid. So right now I'm doing 140, 280. Yeah. Look at my little Luminion. Look at my... Did you see all those places? Oh, the places your Luminion will go when you try to use Luminous Sign. Up, down, left, right. Oh, baby. That should just be game over. Unless they can whip up a one-hit KO on this Umbreon. Yeah, this Umbreon loaded. Yeah, there's Ashian V is gone. It ain't happening. GG's. Yeah, that's what's up, Calcifer. Yes, I enjoy that. I think the card game is the most successful. The actual cards, the physical Pokemon cards, I believe is the most successful part of the Pokemon brand right now. The Pokemon trading card game. Dang, bro. This really not a good opening hand. I should have started with Umbreon, but I didn't know what I was playing against, so. Getting 3 Iono'd. 3 Iono'd to the bottom of the deck. Yo, that's kind of sick. I got the Switch and the Arceus V and the double turbo. Okay. I'll take it. Well, what? It's Creatures is developing the Pokemon trading card game. The company Creatures in Japan develops the Pokemon trading card game. And I think that they're doing a great job of that. I don't know what role Creatures has in the video games. I do not. But there may be some role there too. I think so. I think Creatures develops what? The sprites, I think. No, Game Freak makes the game. I think they design the Pokemon. Yes. And therefore, like, make the sprites. I think. But I don't know. It's all very complicated. If you haven't noticed. You know, and I desperately want this client to be successful. I do. I desperately want Pokemon cards to be successful. That's part of why I'm so passionate about it. That's why I'm so mad, right? That's why I'm so passionate. That's why I'm so riled up. Thank you, Kohlers91, for the Prime sub in the 3 months. Creatures is a Japanese video game company affiliated with Game Freak, Nintendo, and the Pokemon Company, and one of the owners of the Pokemon franchise. Right. Well, how is I don't think Creatures is in charge of it all, right? Don't they all kind of like... There's Creatures, there's the Pokemon Company Japan, there's Game Freak, and Nintendo. Now, I don't know how any of those companies operate together. But they do, apparently. Seems very complex. Probably is, you know, I think somebody from Pokemon Japan oh boy. Well, we gotta just Iono this. Yes. And we go get Arc Doggy Dog. Starbirth. Umbreon. I guess. Yeah, Umbreon is fine. And bring up that guy. And that's it. That's cool. I never get Duraludon powered up in this matchup. That's fun. Tell you what, this deck is mad easy to play. I don't know if any of y'all tried Ian Robb's second place Arceus Umbreon deck from NAIC. But, like, other decks have to work so hard. Other decks have to work so hard to do what Arceus does so effortlessly. Talk about the perfect deck to be a just chatting stream. You could have absolutely nothing going on in your noggin and pilot this deck to mad victories. Radiant Alakazam. I can mess with Gardevoir a little bit. I think it's also to like help math for Lost Box, yeah. Allow you to knock out Dragonite. Something like that. I'm not exactly how it works. All right, what's the Radiant Alakazam for again? I know it, like, against Gardevoir, it's good because you can mess with their damage counters. KO Dragonite, but how do you get a damage counter onto... There's no way you got a knockout on this, right? Oh, lordy. Oh, Dragonite. Yes, it's to KO Dragonite, right? Because Dragonite puts the damage counters and then you move it. Okay, I get it. Yeah. All right. Okay. Cool. That's the thing, though. You go to 120, I just am going to Alakazam you, dog. That's the thing. Like, dude, you're taking a double knockout here, but... And you don't have the counter stadium? This is literally checkmate. There's nothing they can do. I can knock out Gardevoir EX. I can knock out Gardevoir EX and the active Gardevoir in one turn. Let's research. Uh-oh. Well, I really needed to find my Umbreon there, but that's fine. Where the Umbreon at? Dang, bro. That's a whiff right there. It's a big whiff. No, we're not going to do that. Y'all believe? Believe in miracles? Oh, I needed to... That's a misplay on my part. Needed a Lost City that. Dang it. That's fine. Nothing going on in your head. I know. Listen, I'm just playing down to the deck's level, you know? This deck is cruise control. I'm telling you, it's not even going to matter, bro. I'm telling you. We're so chilling. You don't think they have enough? Holy smokes. What if they just go boss Duraludon? Can they do that? No, they can't put that many damage counters on themselves. 1, 2, 3. No, they can't. And they can't use the... We're tied on prizes, so they can't. Not Luminous. You're talking about Reversal. Yeah. They can do 6. They can do 7. But they already used Shining Arcana. They didn't hit it. They've got boss. They can knock out to my Umbreon, sure. Okay. I got 1 prize remaining. Ultra Ball there. Dang, that Ultra Ball was... That's the card I needed. Okay. The path isn't in here either? Dang, bro. Yeah, couldn't they have just won with Zacian? They have 11 energy down. The thing is like, even if I go Painful Spoons, I don't have the boss right now, so they can just pile 10 energy on the Zacian and take the knockout, and there's no way I can stop it, so they do just win here. And I don't have a boss. They have one prize left. There's nothing really to do. Yeah, I just needed the Ultra Ball. God, but I just win if I just hit that. All right, we're gonna go for 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We'll see who they promote. All right, now pass. What if they're out of energy, bro? They have 10 and a reversal. Isn't that what the lists were playing at NAIC? 10 and a reversal? See? GG's. Now, I top deck the boss, so I could either boss Ashiin, knock it out. What about their super rods? Yeah. No, they've still got rods. Okay, then I need to go. All right. What about their bosses? They might not have it. Yeah, they probably play 2 boss, but I have to just kind of hope that they don't have it. No, they probably win, but I think they had no super rods down, so I couldn't make that play. Yeah, they have the boss, dang it. I couldn't make the play of trying to stall the Radiant Greninja because they eventually would have found a way out. Yeah, there was a Palpat in the discard, yeah. Well, we almost did it there. They had a very strong setup, though, with 4 Curlia turn 2, so... And we had a game-winning play, but we missed the Ultra Ball off of the research, so that's fine. We had a game-winning play. If the turn where I researched, if I find Umbreon VMAX, I can knock out the active Gardevoir and gust up the bench Gardevoir EX and take a 3-prize turn, and that just wins me the game. But we whiffed it, so. It stings! And they really put themselves in that situation, too. Yeah, I probably should have Iono'd, yeah. But then I had the boss of my... Yeah. I should have Iono'd first, I think. Probably, yeah. But they set up very strong that game. I didn't get a turn 2 Arceus that game, right? So, like, everything that went right for them did, and everything that went wrong for me did. So, like, that's fine. Like, you can lose those games. That's okay. Like, I didn't get an Arceus till turn 3. They got 4 Curlia turn 2. Like, that's okay. That'll happen. But for the most part, I think this matchup is quite favored. Got Iono, sure. Arceus V-Star is just the great fixer. It fixes everything. It's insane. Like, cool, I'll go get Arceus and get whatever I want out of the deck. It's ridiculous. Yeah, this is the NAIC finals match right here. Okay, they got the telly. Sure. 4 Seal Stone. Okay. Huh. So they've got the reversal in their hand. I think I just knock out the Octillery. I think so. Uh-oh, what if I prized my switch and all I have is rope? That's a miss sequence. Ha, we're chilling. All right. I want to get my guy powered up. Got another Adventurous Discovery. The other card that I might want is... I'm going to take this knockout. I'll take... No, I have Gust already, too. Sure. Get another energy. And then... Nest Ball for another one of these. And... Trinity Nova for knockout. And we're going to go... those two over here and that over there. It's fine. That's actually a misplay. Because what if I don't find the energy that I need for an attack? What if they go Urshifu, knock me out, and I don't have the... Well, that's fine. That ain't gonna happen. That ain't gonna happen. There's no way that last card in hand is a supporter. See? See? Now, this is what I should have done last turn, because honestly, attacking with Duraludon would have been way better this turn. But that's okay. I'll just attack with Duraludon this next turn, and then it should just be pretty smooth sailing from there. They've got Medicham, but they cannot do the Medicham play because they ain't got it like that. Not yet. But I can just go knock out the Medicham right now. So I'm going to do that. Ooh, Iono is cool, but that's not even what I want. I just want to go get this guy and then these guys to thin the deck a little bit. And we're going to bring me your Medicham, please. This Spiritomb should not be on the bench. Just gonna point that out. It's fine though. Yeah, that shouldn't be there. That's okay. I've got 3 prizes left. If I knock out this Inteleon, I win. I assumed that deck did run Luminion, but I don't know. I frankly forget what the list looks like. And I'm like pretty sure that the Rapid Strike deck does not. It does run the fish. All right, then I'm not totally stupid. Well, the funny thing is, by knocking out my fish, or by knocking out my Spiritomb, now you've unlocked my fish. Which is pretty cool. But I don't have it. So, what if they go Rapid Flow? Rapid Flow only does 120 damage to the bench. They would have to go... I think it's still correct to just take this knockout. And just force them to have something. None of that matters. I mean, I could thin the Alakazam, but I don't think that matters because they either knock out my Umbreon or they don't. So yeah, that's fine, I guess. They boss and Gale Thrust for game. I don't think that the deck plays boss. Maybe. Or maybe it does. Also, I don't think that they have it. I don't think they have that. There's no way they have Switch, Boss, Energy. It's a 4-card hand. Why no Lost City there? I don't know. Do they play like a... do they play a stadium? I might want to counter... I want to counter their stadium. The NAAC list does not run Boss. I'm not Lost City because, like, what? I don't care if they bring the Alakazam back. I just want to counter... I just want to have a stadium counter. If they put a stadium down, I want to counter it. That's the only reason I need my stadiums right now. Lost zoning the Alakazam does nothing. I just got the second Lost City off my prize. Okay. Yeah, Duraludon do be swinging, though. That's for sure. They've got Irida. They can rope. But that do not really matter. I think we just bring up that. My turn. Ah, GG's. You messed up, bro. You messed up. GG's. Why don't I attach belt? Why would I give my opponent necessary information about what's in my hand? Unnecessary. Well, like what does attaching the belt do? You don't want to just give your opponent all the information about your hand, right? Like, what does attaching the belt do? It's not actually hitting knockouts. Like, the belt doesn't make it hit a knockout that it otherwise whiffs. Iono proof? Sitting against Judge? If my opponent judges me, then there's a significant chance that they increase my odds of finding the win. Iono, it would all go to the bottom. It's like... Is this a rematch? It is. Looks like I'm playing against Rapid Strike, Urshifu, Inteleon. My opponent is going first and opens double battle VIP pass, which is extremely bad for me. Because I'm going second, and they are setting up very good. If this is the NAIC winning list, then it only plays 3 battle VIP pass, so opening 2 of them is quite a statement. Yeah. Hilariously, though, this deck only plays like 1 switch, so they have to go get it with... And if they prized it, well, then they're in kind of a funny situation, huh? Okay. We're just going to Trinity Charge. Nope. And put those here. And then I guess I'm trying to just go pure Duraludon VMAX this game. Because I'm behind. They got set up very strong turn 1. Their only switch card might be an escape rope, which would be hilarious because then that means that they can't knock out my Arceus V with Urshifu this turn. So that might be what we got going on. They may have to rope. In which case I send them Umbreon. Okay. Probably going to see a V-Star come down, the Star Alchemy Star, to go find that one-of switch card. They got Double Gunner, sure. And then Rapid Strike Search. They can get their Urshifu VMAX. Righto. Or another Inteleon VMAX. Sure. Because I want a Double Gunner again. Okay. More damage counters. Fine. And then? Yes. Use your Star Alchemy. Go get the switch. Or the VMAX. Then? You pass to me. You pass to me. I'm telling you that this deck doesn't play. It plays like one switch. It's only got one switch in the deck. Starting Radiant Alakazam is like a death sentence. Told you! This deck does not play enough switching cards. All it plays is the Stadium. I told you. Okay. So, all I need to do... They've already used their V-Star power. Let's escape rope. And then Nest Ball. There's nothing else I want to put in play. And I could just Iono. Or not Iono. I could Adventurous Discovery, which is kind of hilarious. Yeah, we'll just do that. Gets me everything that I need. So we'll just do that. And then I've got my Starbirth, but they don't play boss, so I'll just start swinging. Oh, baby. Here we go. And then I started using G-Max Pulverization. Right? Like, what are you going to do about that? If you escape rope, I'll give you Umbreon V. And that's it. This is game over. I'm going to be honest with you. I think Ian was very favored going into this finals. I think Ian was favored. If I really look back at this match, yeah. Ian was favored here. Cyrus did go first twice. It's true. Yeah, and then game 3 was a brick. Yup. Crazy. They got fish and rope. Okay. You rope, I give you Umbreon. And then what? You're done. I'm not going to put down another Pokemon. I mean, I guess you probably play Echoing Horn, right? That's probably the answer here. But all I need to do is go boop, 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 game over. And I can Iono you. I know they play Horn, but they're still bodied. They're bodied. They ain't got it like that. Nar. And didn't they just use their one copy of Escape Rope? So that's not an option anymore? That was a very scientific description of my victory plan. So true. That's what I'm saying. Like, now, what do they do? I'm pretty sure this list plays one rope, and they've used it. Yo, what's up, I am dog? Yo, welcome to the stream. Make sure to join the Tricky Gym Discord. It's a great place to talk about decks and getting started. Discord.gg/TrickyGym. Yeah, you see, so all I need to do is boop, boop, bop, bop, game over. That's it. We're going to go boop, then bop, then boop, bop, and then they're going to lose. They can't win. It's that easy. There's no win condition. Oh, and my stuff's going to the lawsuit. They can't even Echoing Horn, dude. I guess they can Melanie. But no, it do not matter. They're not even, they like need to Melanie to what? Inteleon, I guess. And swing with G-Max Spiral for one. No, they're never knocking out this thing. And then they'd have to 3-hit KO the Duraludon. It's not happening. You G-Max Rapid Flowed like that. Yeah, it's over for you, dude. It's over for you. I'll put the Choice Belt on the Duraludon just to appease y'all. I don't even have to use my V-Star power. All I need is boss's orders and this game is over. And I've got Ultra Ball for Luminion in hand. I mean, yeah, you can Rapid Flow for 2 prizes. I guess they could go Rapid Flow. No, but they can't even like switch and what? They'd have to Echoing Horn, switch, Escape Rope. It's not happening, dude. All right, and I've got the boss right here. It's game over. Just like that. And you see, they had the perfect setup going first. All we had to do is get Duraludon out and the game's over. And they hit for 0 damage into Duraludon again. Arceus goes down. And I win this game without even using my V-Star power. Thank you, Herb, for the Prime sub in 13 months. GG's Rapid Strike. Duraludon. Too strong. He's way too strong out here. Well, let's go. They had the perfect turn 1, turn 2. They started Alakazam? Yeah, because that deck stinks, bro. No way! I gotta get off this game, bro. Haven't you had enough? Looks like I'm up against, you know, I've been playing Pokemon Trading Card Game Live for just like, what, an hour or two? And we just played against the same person 3 times in a row. Pokemon, can't you see ain't nobody playing this game? What the heck? Oh, exhausting. All right, here we go. They've got an Urshifu. They've only got Escape Rope. So, really, we're just going to set up a couple of these. And then we could risk it for the turn 1. Yeah, we risking it for sure. Iono. Easy double turbo. Easiest double turbo of my life. See? Trinity Yarg. Nah, they're going to Iono me right back. We're chilling. Boss the Zam and GG. You're so right, Adrian. They've got the rope. Okay, fine. All right, I'm going to need to top deck, like... I will boss the Alakazam. I'm gonna boss up the Alakazam again. Yeah. Oh. Yeah. We're gonna boss up that again. Yeah. And now we wait. See, the thing about your deck is that Alakazam doesn't have an easy way to move. And I know that. I know that very well. So I'm going to take advantage of it. Now, you could double attach water energy and retreat this thing. That's the only option you have. Eventually, I will draw out of this. See? A power edge. Eventually, I'm telling you, this Alakazam is not moving. They think I'm going to knock it out. As soon as I top deck Adventurer's Discovery, this game's over. You're not even attaching to the Alakazam. I'm going to leave that thing there. I cannot believe I'm drawing so poorly. This is insane. All right, it's fine. Come out. You cut that out. Come on. Brother. All right, come on, man. That's fine. I'm going in. I know. They learned to attach the energy to Alakazam. They were never supposed to get to that point. No, I shouldn't have lost zoned it. I could boss it back up. This is terrible. This deck stinks. $150 damage on that thing? Come on. Easiest top deck of my life right here. Damage. I'm so mad, bro. What did you think that was gonna work? Come on, man. You gotta be kidding me, bro. Put me out of my misery. Thank goodness. Well, the better player won. That's for sure. And that is pretty much what happened in the finals of NAIC right there. Yeah, that was a lot of really bad turns. Back to back to back to back to back to back. You hate to see that. Hopefully we get a different opponent now. That'd be nice. The Guardy matchup, free. You and me both, Jesse Parker. How do you win the Lost Box matchup? Get out really big guy, put their guys in the Lost Zone. Yeah, you're going to get to see how to win the Lost Box matchup right here. Looks like I'm playing against Lost Box. I've got, thankfully, a nest ball, so I can go get Arceus. And we're just trying to, you know, use Arceus next turn. That'd be good. Attach an energy here. And put down Radiant Alakazam. And we will pass. And we put down the Radiant Alakazam in case they, you know, I don't know, escape rope, want to be annoying. And they can swing into my Alakazam short. That's fine. You know, if they go turn 1 Dragonite, that'd be a little intimidating. They probably ain't got it like that, but you always, you know, you gotta look out. It can happen. I think this is probably... Oh, it is Tina, isn't it? With grass energy? Well, if it's Giratina, that would explain why their opening stinks, because the Tina version is much less consistent. Starbirth. Yep, you see, Arceus, the anti-brick technology. Look at that. Wow. It's almost like, and this is crazy, being able to search your deck for whatever cards you want and put them into your hand. It's a pretty good strategy. Kind of crazy. Yeah. See, this card right here puts whatever cards you want into your hand. That's good. Yeah, that's good. It's a tournament winning strategy right there. And it has 280 hit points. And it does 200 damage. And it accelerates energy to play. You guys realize how good this card is, bro? Bruh. Like, you just broken deck. That's it. That's all you need to know. Deck's broken. Wins fast or loses fast. Good tournament deck. Something to look out for. It's crazy to me how easily this deck does everything. That's what blows my mind, I think. It's just, it's so easy. Like, the deck barely has to break a sweat to beat a lot of the best decks in the format. I really like the Arc Umbreon list because I feel like it just allows you to target down exactly what you want to target down every turn, which is one of Arceus' strengths as well. Bro. Another one? Looks like I'm up against yet another Inteleon VMAX Urshifu VMAX deck. Got a reasonable enough opening hand. Let me check and make sure that my other... Yep, Duraludon VMAX is in the deck. It is. That's great. Great. And I'm going to probably bench 2 Duraludon. I am going to discard 1 Duraludon VMAX. That's okay. It could just be 1 Duraludon, 1 Umbreon. That's probably for the... I'm not going to evolve the Umbreon because then I could... Yeah, we'll go 1 Duraludon, 1 Umbreon. That's the wave. That's what we're doing. Final answer. Cool. Ultra Ball away these. And then we can thin the deck. And then that goober out of here. Yoga Loop bait. So then... I don't want to bench any other single prizes. We'll just research. Boo. We only find basic energy, which is not cool. I repeat, not cool. That's fine. Would have liked to find a double turbo, but we did not find that. So now we are in danger because if they go, well, now we're not in danger anymore, but we're kind of in danger because if they go turn to Melanie to Urshifu V, attach, Rapid Strike energy, retreat, then they can one-hit KO my Arceus, which that'd be bad. Okay. That'd be real bad. That's like a game-losing play right there. But all they have is Aqua Bullet. And now that is actually a game-losing play. So let's see what we can do. We got Arc Doggy Dog. And I'm going to go get Choice Belt, Double Turbo. Great. You know what? This deck, it's not very complex, but my goodness, if it doesn't get the job done. What the heck, dude? This deck, bro. This deck. I don't actually want to Ultra Ball those things away because they could bring them back. That's fine. You actually don't want to put those in the discard pile. Well, I guess I already have a couple of targets, but that's fine. Because they play Echoing Horn, so you don't want to give them that. Goodbye. Yeah, we're going to put those energy over here. Yeah, I could play this matchup all day. It's very straightforward. You get out the Duraludon. Don't bench too many guys. Get out the Duraludon. Yeah. Why didn't I adventures for the Umbreon VMAX? I was trying to thin. Yeah, that's what I was trying. I was trying to adventures for cards I didn't want, and then Ultra Ball for the. Yeah, I was thinning. Thinning do be winning. Because, like, they didn't do anything, so I didn't want to Iono. So what I wanted to do was I wanted to bring all the bad cards out of my deck and then put them into my hand, right? Or the discard pile. So that then I could, you know, if they do Iono, then I'm better prepared for that. Yeah, that's GG's. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, this deck kind of farming. What I think I'm. Is this the same guy again? Yeah. Is this just like. Does anybody else have this experience on TCG Live where you just play against the same opponents over and over again? Anybody else have that? It's because there's only 4 of you on the client right now. So true. It happens to me all the time. Happens less if you restart the app between games. Yeah, not everybody wants to do that. Restart the app every time they play. Okay. So, yeah, that's not a great turn 1 going first. Irish Luck, are you saying it's practically required to restart the application between games when you're playing on mobile? Why? Wait a couple seconds before finding a game? I mean, the game should just not queue you against the same person over and over again. I just got a water and a pass. Okay. I'm so cracked at this game, bro. What the heck, dude? I'm so talented. Ridiculous. Dang, bro. Look at that talent just oozing out of my ears. There's only 2 switch in this deck, and I Iono'd 1 to the bottom of my deck. And then I drew into the other one with the double turbo and the Arceus. Just insane. They're trying to move damage counters onto the Dura. Sure. It doesn't matter, though. I'm not going to bench anybody else. I've got Raihan, too. But I don't have any energy in the discard pile. I could retreat energy off of my damaged Dura. And then Raihan to the fresh one. Kind of like that. I think that's the wave, isn't it? Okay. Here we go. 220. And then I started swanging. It's pretty good. So they're out is that they need to knock out this Duraludon V, and then they need to like Echoing Horn that and knock it out again. But I mean, they've got 220 damage on this Urshifu right now. There's a lot of pressure. Like in 4 turns, I'm gonna win. Yeah, next turn, if they knock this thing out, I can Iono them to 2. Escape rope, that do not bother me. You knock this thing out, it's Punish Town for you, homie. And then I put you on like basically a 2-turn clock. Because that Urshifu VMAX got damage on it. I think they're going to go get the Rapid Strike energy and bop this thing. They got rid of Cheryl. Oof. Oh, they're going to Echoing Horn now. That's fair. Annoying, but I also haven't used my V-Star power yet. So, yo, what's up, Melanie? How you doing? And I'm pretty sure they used their escape rope just now. So that's their only rope. Which means I am not going to give you this. You feel me? Like, I'm not going to give you that Arceus back, dude. Okay. And we Iono to 2. Looking for an Arceus V-Star. Yeah, baby. Yeah, baby. Hey. It's pretty good. And then they've already used their Echoing Horn. They've got 2 prizes remaining. I can just bench that. There we go, G-Max Pulverization. Cool. And then what? What say you? You can hit into my Duraludon with Intelli, then I knock out your Telly. Then I boss up your Urshifu and it's game over. What are you going to do about that? They have to, like, hit this thing twice. I guess benching the Alakazam gives them another target to move damage counters over to the Arceus V-Star, but the thing is, they are out of ropes, so... And here, it's like they're doing 140, but... Yoga Loop won't get them there. I think they're just bodied. 200. I have 130 hit points left. None of these guys... They could Melanie to the Inteleon. That's how they do it. So they're not bodied. They could Melanie... If they have Melanie to the Inteleon, they can win that way. Yeah? I mean, that would be bad. So let's Starbirth and go for the Iono to 2. No, I don't want to take the Ultra Ball out. I want to leave the Ultra Ball in so I can get the game-winning boss with Luminion. So I want to thin bad cards out of my deck. I'll take the choice, sure. At this point, the bench Pokemon do not matter, so I might as well grab him too. Lost City, and we Iono. And we say, all right, off an Iono to 2, you better not have Melanie and a Water Energy. And then if you do not have those things, I win. Righto. Ain't no way they got it. Pack it up. You can move the damage to Zamazenta. It just doesn't matter. GG's. GG's, GG's. After watching that match out, listen, Bowler Dude, if you want to avoid ads, you can support the channel by subscribing. That's how you avoid advertisements. You are going to support the channel one way or the other. Either A, by watching advertisements, or B, by subscribing. The choice is yours. I do appreciate everybody who is subscribed to the channel and helps to support the content. I appreciate it. Wait, do subs not block ads anymore? I'm pretty sure they do. Right? They do. All right, so then you're lying to me. Yes. There we go. Looks like we up against Lost Box. That or it's Miraidon. Even more exciting. That's so exciting. Okay, this looks like it is a This could be a bad matchup. I actually think this is about as bad as the matchups come for this deck. This seems horrible. I'm going full greed. Well, who am I? Ian Robb? Dang. This ain't good. This is looking bad. Nah, they ain't got it. They ain't got it. They're literally about to pass, bro. Oh, that's unfortunate. Yeah, Miraidon kind of sick, honestly. Yeah, Miraidon kind of that deck, bro. Yeah, Miraidon, look how fast that deck goes. Dang, you just get to attach lightning to your lightning guys and go ham. When it actually goes, Miraidon always goes because it's broken. This deck is horrible. Why would anyone put themselves through this pain and agony? Yes, YRG. Yes, we did. Yes, a blazing victory. I think we can still win, even with Luminian down, right? Yeah, we're chilling. No problem. We're fine. We got adventures, discovery. We're going to go discover some adventures. Look at that. Wonderful. I think I prized all my Umbreon Vs. Yes, we did. Fascinating. Okay. Just get some more dudes. That's fine. Okay, so what are we doing here? Put an energy down there. We've got Velocity for next turn. We evolve an Arceus next turn. Probably also on a bench. This guy and this guy, that's fine. And just say pass. I saw Flubber when I was in middle school, but I don't remember anything about it other than the fact that there was green slime. I saw it actually for my birthday, I think. I think I had a birthday party at a movie theater. Yeah, and I feel like I was like 12. When did Flubber come out? I know, Robin Williams, R.I.P. 1997? I said middle school? Did I say middle school? I meant third grade. Yeah, third grade. I had my third grade birthday party. Yo, why does Flubber have a 1 out of 5 star on Rotten Tomatoes? That criminal, honestly. Has anyone seen the movie Flubber in recent years? You watched it last week? No shot. Really? What are the odds of that? Swizzerton, you made your kids watch it? That's so sick. Is it good? Here we go. Trinity Nova. I'll take a prize. God, can you guys imagine if Mrs. Doubtfire was released in current day? What the heck? Isn't it crazy to say, like, yeah, Mrs. Doubtfire was cool, fun, funny, whatever back then? Man. Nothing wrong with it. Yeah, I love Robin Williams for sure. They don't make comedy like they used to, folks. Alright, I think they... Swinging with the Dragonite. Okay. Yeah, potentially I should have just gone for the... Because what if I miss the metal energy? You feel me? Yeah, that was probably a misplay on my part. I should have seen this coming. Oh, and I prized my Radiant Alakazam. Well, that certainly makes things interesting, doesn't it? Okay. Choice belt. Dang it. That's not great. Yeah, that's not ideal. Alakazam prized. I guess I could have prepped for that. Well, I mean, what? I used my... I wanted to get the Judge off of the Starbirth. That adds up. It's fine. They take this knockout. They play a Charm of Courage. What do Zoomers do? Like, does Gen Z still watch comedy from like the early 2000s and 90s? Because like, that's got to be are those comedy movies still considered like the ones? Like Talladega Nights, like the kids these days, they've seen Talladega. They've seen Talladega, right? Anchorman. No one from any generation watches the previous generation's comedy. It's not true. I like Seinfeld. Monty Python. I've seen Monty Python and I've seen Seinfeld, Airplane. Yeah, I've seen all of those. Yeah. Monty Python's hilarious. Well, I'm pretty sure not knocking out this Dragonite is going to be a game loser for us. So that's not good. There's my Radiant Alakazam. Okay. I mean, so yeah, we're just going to have to Iono to 2 and hope it works. Tommy boy. Yeah, potentially Iono to 1. Yo, what's up, James, with the raid? Appreciate you, James. Shout out to James. TCG with the rate of 44. Make sure to check out James' channel if you have not already. Create some awesome competitive Pokemon TCG content. We're talking about early 2000s, 90s comedies, and does Gen Z still watch them? Because I'm old, all right? I'm an old. Do kids don't watch movie? That's not true. Mario movie, bro. The kids still like Adam Sandler, right? Like, come on. The kids got to be down with Adam Sandler. Talladega Nights? Yes. Yes. Boomers and millennials watch Super Mario Brothers? No. The kids were watching that too. All right, we definitely watched it. But the kids also watch Super Mario Brothers, okay? Benching Radiant Alakazam and passing? Yeah, I guess so. Benching Radiant Alakazam. Well, they could switch cart, right? Like, what if they just switch cart and ruin your whole plan? I still think that this is fine. This is better. Because, like, if I bench Radiant Alakazam and then they just, like, switch card out of it, then I'm like, oh, I'm stupid, and then they can just win. You know, what if I give them 2 turns because I just decided to try and be cute? Exactly. Gen X and millennials took their kids tomorrow, and they liked it. You know, my Gen X boomer parents took me to see Lion King. I'm still claiming Lion King, okay? Lion King that's our movie, all right? That's a millennial classic. I saw that movie in the theaters. All right? What are my thoughts in the upcoming? I want to tell you, Riley Tiger, that I don't even know what FNAF means, but after doing so, like when I first glanced at that, I was like, I have no idea what you're talking about. But then as I said it out loud in my brain, I was like, oh my God, that must be Friday Night at Freddy's or something. And I have no thoughts on it because I don't even know what it's like animatronics. Okay, do kids even know what Chuck E. Cheese's is? Do they go to Chuck E. Cheese's? Or Five Nights at Freddy's. That's the thing. I didn't even know. I thought it was Friday Night at Freddy's. It's Five Nights at Freddy's. See? I don't even know, bro. That's what I'm saying. I don't even know. I don't know anything about all that, bro. You think I've ever turned on the Freddy game with the animatronics? No. That's like asking me if I've ever played Minecraft. No. Never played Minecraft. Never played Friday Night... Never played the Freddy game, okay? No. I've never played Subway Surfer either. Looks like I'm playing against Arceus V-Star... Giratina V-Star, and they're going first, so that is tough. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, Five Nights at Freddy's is definitely a Gen Z thing. 100%. How have I never played Minecraft? Minecraft's for the kids. I'm old. I'm 34. I missed the Minecraft wave, all right? I was never into that. And then I got to admit, by looking at it, I was never appealed to it either. Minecraft beta was out in 2010. Yeah. I was moving on to more adult activities like Pokemon cards. Also, I've been a Mac user my entire life, so I just didn't have Steam in the early 2010s, all right? I've been a Mac user since college. I did not have Steam. I've pretty much never played Steam games, all right? I just don't care. I'm not into gaming like that. Is Minecraft on Steam? See, that's what I thought. I thought maybe it was a Steam game. I don't know. It's not on Steam? Then how did you download Minecraft back in the day? It was PC only for a long time. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. It was, but when it came out, thank you. It was a program for Windows. Yes, that's why. So I never got into it. I don't care. Yeah, so like by the time it came out, I did not care. Back in my day, we didn't have those games on my Macintosh. See, Greece gets it. Yeah. I have played maybe 2 games of Fortnite in my life. And when I played Fortnite, all I tried to do was run from everybody. Yes. Why would I want to play Fortnite? That is for the kids. I do not care. Like, I think I was over someone's house and I took the sticks for 2 games and I was like, I'm good. I've played about 2 games of... I had a stint. I played... I taught myself how to play Rocket League for like a month. But them games are way too sweaty for me, dude. Like, yeah, I just, I'm not sweaty like that. That's fine. Listen, McLid. Pokemon came out when I was 10 years old. Yeah. I'm not a real gamer, I'm not like, I don't just play video games to play video games. All right. Y'all want the history of my gaming career? Is that what you want? You want me to spell it out for you? Every game I'm familiar with and not familiar with? All right. The very first gaming device that I ever owned was a Game Gear. A Sega Game Gear. When I was in kindergarten, I lived in Japan. I used to have to ride an hour on the bus as a kindergartner from the military base where my dad was stationed, the Navy base, I should say, to the school, to the international school that I attended. So my parents got me a Game Gear so that I could keep myself entertained while on the bus. And I used to play Sonic. I had this game called Echo the Dolphin, and I did not quite understand how to play it. But Sonic, oh yeah. I got Sonic. Sonic was sick. Yeah, Echo, yeah, I don't know about Echo. But Sonic was sick. So I played a lot of Sonic. And at the same time, me and my sister also got a Game Boy. It was a classic Game Boy. I think I'm just getting destroyed here. It was a classic Game Boy, like the big blocky one, but it was red. So that was sweet. And we enjoyed that very much. And we played that quite a bit as well. So those were the gaming systems that we had when we were in Japan. And then we got a Super Nintendo. And the Super Nintendo, my sister and I shared. And on the Super Nintendo, my favorite games to play were the Donkey Kong Country games. Those were the games that I played the most. I absolutely loved it. I played Donkey Kong Country 1, 2, and 3. Let's see, I want this, and I probably want to be able to IO them to low. I'll get that too. Sure. Okay. No, my the Super Nintendo we played, I want to say, when did the Super Nintendo come out? Thank you, Et Maca, for that tier 1 sub in the 7 months. I'm trying to like pinpoint exactly when we got the Super Nintendo. I was obviously very young. Mario Kart for Super Nintendo was also one of my favorite games, but I never owned Mario Kart. 1991. Yeah. I never owned Mario Kart. I just rented it, and I fell in love with it from renting it. I lived in Japan from like 93 to 96. So I think I had the Super Nintendo like right around the same time that we had the Game Gear and the Game Boy. We had it in Japan, but we might have bought it. I feel like we bought it when I lived in Boston. So like I lived in Boston before Japan, and I feel like we might have had it when I was like real young, and then maybe took it to Japan, like something like that. I feel like that's probably what happened. Like we bought the Super Nintendo, moved to Japan, had it there, and then something like that. All right, well, now we have to Iono 2 and just hope this works out. So I had a Super Nintendo, loved all the Donkey Kong Country games. And then my favorite thing by far to do on the Super Nintendo was to play this cool new game that came out on my Super Game Boy called Pokémon. So that is like one of my fondest memories of playing video games as a child, was booting up the Super Game Boy and playing Red version on the TV in my room, you know, which was really exciting. That was very cool. So that was like the primary way, because I didn't actually, like, I think eventually I got a Game Boy Color, but that's like how I played Pokemon Red version, like primarily was on my Super Game Boy. And then my sister Evan and I were Nintendo kids. We went Super Nintendo. We got N64. I actually was too intimidated to play Legend of Zelda, and also I feel like I was a little bit too, like, dang, they're just gonna win here, huh? I felt like I was a little bit too scatterbrained to like keep the like the map and the story straight. So I would do like the boss fights, and Evan would do like all the adventuring and stuff. And then I would do the boss fights, because Evan was too scared to do the boss fights. But I was too intimidated by like the maps to do any of like the navigating. So like we used to tag team on games like Ocarina of Time for Nintendo 64. Mario Kart was by far my favorite game for a Nintendo 64. Then they just literally need like a grass energy, right? And they're just like, they kind of win, which is kind of funny. Well, don't they just use their... Oh, they've already used their V-Star power. Then yes, they need more than that. Okay, cool. Okay. Max Dankness. Let's go. Then... right around this time, my neighbor got a PlayStation 2. We were not a PlayStation household, but my next door neighbor and good buddy had a PlayStation. So over there is where I first encountered a game that would change my life. What game do you think it was that changed my life when I played it on the PlayStation 2? Tony Hawk Pro Skater. Oh, yeah. That game changed the trajectory of my life. 100%. It was the coolest thing I had ever seen. Oh, yeah. Fell in love with skateboarding. Started actually skateboarding. I used to go over his house to play all the time. So, fell in love with Tony Hawk Pro Skater, started skateboarding, and then GameCube came out, right? And when GameCube came out, I got Tony Hawk Pro Skater 3. And I just played that game so much. Tony Hawk Pro Skater 3 just constantly. Absolutely loved that game. But I love the GameCube as well. GameCube was a very fun system. Really enjoyed that. I played a lot of SSX Tricky, and this is when I was going through like my skateboarding phase. Not a phase because I still skate. So, but this is like, you know, I'm in love with like extreme sports at this point, right? Kind of my thing. I'm not sure what actually gives me a... Like, if they had boss, they had boss. So I think I just had to hope that they didn't have it. They do have it. Okay. GG's. Yeah. Because they had grass boss, so they could have just retreated and bossed anyway. So I just had to hope that they didn't have it. I did not play Tony Hawk Pro Skater on Nintendo 64 because I didn't own it. You know, I mean, you know how it was. Back in the day, just like the only video games you got are the ones you got, you know, for Christmas or whatever, or birthday. My Christmas and, you know, Christmas and my birthday both take place in December. So, you know. So, yeah, I never got to. So I rented some games, but like for the most part, my neighbor had Tony Hawk Pro Skater. So it was like I just went over there and played a lot. And then I never got a Game Boy Advance. I never owned a Game Boy Advance. I played Pokemon Crystal on my Game Boy Color in middle school as well. This is before like Tony Hawk Pro Skater really hit me. I played Pokemon Crystal on my Game Boy Color. I never got a Game Boy Advance. I was doing a lot of skateboarding and a lot of, you know, just playing like SSX Tricky, SSX on Tour, Mario Kart, Double Dash. Those were my games of choice. 100% through like late middle school, early high school. And then when I got into high school, I like played Mario Kart on the Wii. And that was fun. I played that like online. But the big games for me in high school, because I had this PC that my uncle built for me, and it was like, he was like a, you know, a hobby computer builder. Like he would take like used computer parts like that he'd find on Craigslist and stuff, and he'd just like piece them together, right? And so like I had this computer that was like pretty capable at the time, which is how I taught myself to, you know, edit videos and do Photoshop and stuff. Because I was doing a lot of skateboarding in high school, and I was using that computer to video edit, Photoshop. I mean, I bootlegged all that stuff, but you know, like I taught myself how to do that. And then the big games for me in high school were Warcraft 3. That was like 9th and 10th grade. All I did was play Warcraft 3. Okay. That was it. Just me and my neighbor, my same neighbor who we used to play Tony Hawk. Me and my same neighbor, we both got deep into Warcraft 3, which was like a huge rush because, you know, like you're like online. You've got like online chat rooms that you can talk in, and, you know, you can rank up. I mean, it was extremely addicting. So we did that. And we did that a lot. And then that eventually gave way to MapleStory, which took over my life in, I'd say, about sophomore to junior year of high school. MapleStory, like, took over. I had a Fire Mage, was my highest level. I stopped right around Cygnus Knights. I had a Cygnus Knight. I stopped before the Big Bang and all that. Yeah. I had a Cygnus Knight, which I liked a lot too. But yeah, I had a Fire Mage and a Cygnus Knight. Those are the two I remember the most. I played during the beta. Like, I mean, I had a Mark of the Beta hat. I had like, I had all that stuff. I remember I used to hang out in Perion, okay, to trade and do all that stuff. Like, listen, man, yeah, me and all my skater friends played MapleStory. That's just all we did. We would skateboard and play MapleStory. That was it. So right around my junior year of high school, skateboarding really started taking over my life. And then, and MapleStory also was real big during that time. Like if I couldn't skate, I was playing MapleStory. Or we would go out and skate all day, and then we would come home and play MapleStory. Like that's just what we did. I can hear Windia right now. I know, right? So that was pretty much high school. And then, like I said, I hadn't played a Pokemon game since Pokemon Crystal. I had always been a fan of Pokemon. Like I said, my buddy Alex and I used to like ride our skateboards to 7-Eleven and buy packs of Pokemon cards. I was actually more into the Pokemon cards during high school than I was into any Pokemon game. Because the cards were dope to me. Like that was the coolest thing to me, was the cards. So I was doing that while playing like MapleStory. I would like have fun and collect cards and trade those. I never had a Game Boy Advance. I never played Fire Red, Leaf Green. I never played those. I had a neighbor who had them, and like I think I like putzed around with them a little bit and kind of see what they were about on his Game Boy Advance, but not on mine. I didn't own one. But then when I went away to college, I was going, leaving 6 hours away to like go to college in northwestern Pennsylvania. I grew up just outside Baltimore, right? And I was going away, and I was going to have a running career in college. So, at that time, that meant I was going to spend a lot of time on buses, going to meets and things like that. And I wanted something to do. So I brought, I had purchased a DS Lite and Pearl version. And this was like, I fell in love with Pearl version. Absolutely loved it. Went away to college, played Pearl version obsessively throughout my college career. And then I would also borrow some of my, my neighbors, like, Fire Red, Leaf Green, so that I could play it on my DS, right? Because I had never played those games. So I backtracked a little bit. Now that I had a DS Lite, I could actually, go play those old Pokemon games that I never played before. But I still never played Emerald. I didn't have any friends who had Emerald, so I'd never played that. But I did play Fire Red on the DS Lite. And then I still played MapleStory a little bit in college. I brought my PC to college, even though I had a MacBook laptop that I used. I brought my PC just to play MapleStory to college. And then in college, I played a lot of Super Smash Brothers, Mario Kart, okay? Those were the big games. And then I played Pokemon on my DS, right? And me and some of my college buddies would get our DSs together, and we would battle with teams that we had cooked up on our Nintendo DSs. And I actually, like, I read up about breeding and stuff, and I was like breeding my Pokemon. Keep in mind, this is 2009. Okay, so I'm like breeding my Pokemon. 2008, 2009. I'm breeding my Pokemon correctly. I'm learning about IVs and EV training and all of that. I'm like teaching myself that in college so that I can beat my college buddies in Pokemon on the Nintendo DS. So I kind of like got into that while, like, like my running career is taking place. And then, and then Smash Brothers and Mario Kart were kind of just like the college gaming language. Like those are just the games that everybody played. So those were the games that I would play. And I remember I had a girlfriend in college. We went out to Walmart on the midnight What about Call of Duty and Halo? I've never played those games before in my life. I have never played Call of Duty. I've never played Halo. I'm giving you the complete history right now. If Call of Duty and Halo are not included, that means I've never done those. My knees are in horrible shape right now. Yes. I'm giving you the complete history right now. So I remember my girlfriend and me at the time, the midnight that Heart Gold Soul Silver came out, we went to Walmart and we bugged some poor Walmart employee to like, hey, could you go look in the back? We know you have this game. It releases right now, because it was like just after midnight. We're like, it releases today. Could you go find it for us? And they did. And we bought it, right? It was just crazy, right? Like, I feel so bad that we bugged this poor Walmart employee, but they got it for us, okay? So then we bought them and then played Heart Gold Soul Silver a ton. And Heart Gold Soul Silver was definitely a, like a gaming experience that like really got me like very much back into Pokemon. And I was still buying Pokemon cards and keeping a collection while I was at college. And then when I graduated college, that's when I went to my first Pokemon regional championship. It was a video game regional championship. Like I said, I told you I'd been teaching myself about IV, EV training. I've been reading up about it a lot, right? So there was a regional championship right after I graduated in like 2011. There was a regional championship in DC that I went to for the video game, right? And I finished in the top 32 of the regional championship for the video game. But then shortly after that, I got more hooked on the Pokemon trading card game, and I started going real diehard for the Pokemon TCG at that time. I did skip over. Yeah, I had bought a 3DS as well. While I was in college, I actually bought the first model of the 3DS, like when it first came out, and it was super overpriced. So I bought that with like all my birthday money one year, or all my Christmas money, something like that. I had saved up in my work study cash, because I had a work study job at college. I'd saved up every penny I had, and I bought the 3DS. So I had that, and then they like dropped the price of it like within 6 months, right? So then as an apology for doing that, they gave you all these free games. So I have an ambassador version of the 3DS, which is like kind of a cool thing. Yeah. So then pretty much after that, I started playing Pokemon cards. And once Pokemon cards hit, there was no time for other gaming. At that point in my life, I became obsessed with getting really good at playing Pokemon cards. So what game was I playing? The Pokemon trading card game online. I was spending a lot of my afternoons playing that. I would, occasionally I'd go back and play through a game on GameCube or Super Nintendo. I'd go play. I liked retro games at that point. My early 2010s are pretty much all made up of playing Pokemon cards or playing retro games, things like that. Yeah, those became my favorite things. I pretty much was done getting into like, I wasn't like out looking for another MapleStory or another Warcraft 3. I played a little bit of World of Warcraft my senior year of high school. I had like a quick 6 months with World of Warcraft when I was in high school. That was kind of fun. Right as senioritis was starting to hit and we all knew we were graduating, right around that time I got into World of Warcraft a little bit. But dropped that when I went away to college. And then, the Wii U came out. I begrudgingly bought a Wii U and played it. I mean, I did really enjoy Splatoon for the Wii U. That was kind of a cool new game that I liked. I also was becoming more of a Zelda fan as well. I played through Wind Waker when I was in college. I played through Twilight Princess when I was in college. I was increasingly becoming more of a Legend of Zelda fan. And then the Switch came out. And in my mind, the Switch is like one of the greatest consoles ever conceived. It's insane. I feel like the Switch changed the console game and conversation. I feel like it's the most influential console ever, in Nintendo Switch. I know I'm biased, but I think it is. That console's nuts. It completely changed everything. So the Nintendo Switch came out. I waited outside in like the freezing snow for my Nintendo Switch on release night outside of Best Buy. And I got Breath of the Wild on release night and I played it. And that game changed my life. I mean, Breath of the Wild, I can look at like the games that changed my life are like Pokemon, Tony Hawk Pro Skater, and Breath of the Wild. In that order, right? Are like the 3 games that had the biggest impact on my life by far. Pokemon, Tony Hawk Pro Skater, Breath of the Wild. In that order. They have been by far the most influential games in my life. And then if there had to be a 4th, it'd be Maple Story. But yeah. The Breath of the Wild came out, fell in love with that game. And that was by far, my favorite game that I've ever played on the Switch for sure. And, probably some of the best 100 hours I ever spent playing a video game. Definitely. And that's pretty much it. If I didn't mention a game in that little time there, I probably haven't played it. I pretty much am more into retro games now than I am into modern video game. If a modern video game comes out, like I'm not playing Grand Theft Auto. Yeah, I don't really care. I've played a little bit of Grand Theft Auto for fun. I've got buddies who have PlayStations. I've played a little bit. It's all right. It's not my thing. I've played a little bit of... I had a brief stint... Okay, so the one PlayStation product that I ever owned was a PlayStation 4. I bought it in the middle of the pandemic when Tony Hawk Pro Skater 1 and 2, the remake, when the remake came out for Tony Hawk Pro Skater 1 and 2, and it wasn't announced for the Switch, I did the thing I'd never done before, and I bought a PlayStation 4 so that I could play the Tony Hawk Pro Skater game. When I did that, I also bought Grand Theft Auto and God of War so I could see what all of the hubbub was about with those games. And frankly, I just thought that they were okay. Wasn't super into them. They were just fine. But I did play Tony Hawk Pro Skater 1 and 2 a ton. And then when Tony Hawk Pro Skater 1 and 2 came out on the Switch, I sold my PlayStation. I also played a little bit of Fall Guys on the PlayStation. I sold my PlayStation. Haven't missed it since. Now I've got Tony Hawk Pro Skater 1 and 2 on the Nintendo Switch, and everything is good. So, that's it. Those are all the video games I've pretty much ever played. And now, I need to get to work, okay? It's work time. I need to make a video. So, I'm getting out of here. You all take it easy and have a good night. I'll be back tomorrow with some more tabletop Pokemon TCG content, alright? Tabletop tomorrow. Do I ever interact with the chat? Yes. What do you this whole conversation is me interacting with the chat. See ya.